In this video, I'm going to be taking you through how I took my shoulders from looking like this to looking like this. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Kai and I'm an online fitness coach who's helped hundreds of men all across the world achieve their dream physique. I'm now a retired bodybuilder, did pretty well, back to back, second place at the national level. Now I create content for those looking to get to that next level in their journey. The first thing we do before we do anything is pick what exercises we're going to be doing to grow those shoulders. You see this photo here of how my shoulders look and you think, wow, crazy genetics. But then you rewind 2 years and you look at my shoulders here and you go, this guy actually must have done something in order to get to where he's gone. Before I get the accusations, because I've seen them before, steroids this, steroids that, this is my natural drug test here. Shh, all natural, baby, all natural, and we're going over the secrets here today. So the first thing when it comes to exercises for growing your shoulders, we need to look at exercises that are actually going to build the front delt, the side delt, and the rear delt. Your shoulders are made up of 3 muscle groups, like I just mentioned. The biggest one of those being the side delt. So the first one we're going to touch on is your side delt. So the first thing I did before every single exercise is I would go on to a lateral raise. So I would normally do a dumbbell lateral raise, a machine lateral raise, or I would set up a bench, lean into it, I'll pop up a video here, and I'll do lateral raises like that. After that is where the real growth happens, and we'll go into that exercise here in a minute. But the reason I do the lateral raises is because I want to fatigue the muscle so that I can actually lift in a safer manner. Then we go on to arguably the most important part of building those side delts, front delts, which is your pressing movement. So a shoulder press, machine, Smith machine, dumbbell shoulder press. So for me, during a workout, I'd actually do 2 shoulder presses machine. So now that my shoulders are firing from doing my lateral raises, I'll move on to the press and I'll go from a 12 to 15 rep range in the lateral raises to an 8 to 10 rep range, focusing on progressing in weight or reps each week. So when it comes to the pressing movements, the real main focus there is progressive overload. Okay, so like I said, adding a rep each week or adding weight each week. Now, the funny part about this is after I've done the press, and some people may say this isn't optimal, but I mean, the photos kind of are the proof here, is I'll actually, and you'll probably be thinking, wait, what? I'll actually go on to another press. However, in this press, I'm doing things slightly different. So instead of doing 8 to 10 reps, instead of doing my 12 to 15 reps, I'm slowing down the tempo to about 3 seconds on the eccentric, and I'm going in the 10 to 12 rep range. So I burned out the lateral raise, the side delts doing lateral raises. I then came in with a heavier movement, and I'm now slowing it down using a similar movement. However, it is slightly different because I might do a dumbbell shoulder press for the heavier progressive overload one, and I might do like a Smith machine, shoulder press machine for the other press. Now, you're probably thinking like, lateral raises, press, and you still got things to do for your shoulders. Well, it's like, that is personally what has worked for me. And I believe that shocking the muscle, giving it different types of training, whether that be tempo, intensity, effort, high volt, whatever it is really gonna help grow your shoulders. So we've done the raise, we've done the press. Now what I would normally like to do is come back here and do a rear delt exercise, okay? So a lot of people grow the front delt from pressing movements, a lot of people grow the side delt, but where they neglect is their rear delt. So on a shoulder, normally you'll see the actual shoulder. I'll see if I can pop up a photo for my man Tommy here, and you can see there's a little bump at the back which gives it that round look, right? That's what gives your shoulder that real aesthetic bubbly look, and that's what we're gonna go over here. So when it comes to growing that rear delt, one of the biggest mistakes I've seen people make is they think that weight is going to help them grow that rear delt. Now, it's not the press here, and it's not the press there, and it's not your side delt. Your rear delt is a whole lot smaller. So guess what? It doesn't need the absolute force power that, for example, your shoulder would need, or your chest, or your quad. Because think how big those muscle groups are. So the first thing we're going to do for all of these movements is go extremely light and focus on form and exercise selection. So the first exercise I'll do here is normally a face pull, which is one of my favorites, where I'll be driving my wrist back and really squeezing my rear delt. Another one that I've been putting in recently is on the pec deck reverse fly, right? You know, the pec deck is I'll face this way and I'll go single arm and I'll come out and I'll allow for that stretch through this movement here. I can almost feel my rear delt burning doing it there. Those are 2 of my absolute favorite exercises. So that's what you'll be doing in the gym, but we all know that 80% of the growth is actually going to happen for you outside of the gym. So there's 2 things that I want you to focus on. So obviously the exercises, that is one, and there's 2 separate things which we're going to go over now. So the first one here is food, okay guys? You are not going to build muscle if you are not in a, hopefully you finish that for me, a surplus, okay guys? My riding, okay? I know how to lift weight, I know how to get people in shape, I know how to get myself in shape. Riding's probably not one of my strong factors. It's definitely not, but you know, we're here today trying to add some value to your life. So we need to actually go in a caloric surplus. So if you're not at your maintenance and not in a surplus, you're not going to grow muscle. And you probably already know that, but that's just a reminder that I could wipe away all the first thing. I could even wipe away, you know, the thing that I'm about to go over here now, but you're literally not going to grow if you're not in a surplus. But that being said, in an equal equation, if you are also not focusing on your sleep, guys, you are not going to grow. And I hammer this home with all of my clients. If you're not sleeping properly, 8 hours a night, healthy sleep, nice routine before bed, you can throw the growth out of the window. You can also throw your mood out the window. You can also throw your energy out the window. You can also throw your training performance out of the window. You can also throw your body composition out of the You get the point. So in terms of being in a surplus and in terms of being sleep, those are just as equally important, if not more important, than the actual training itself. So for calories in your surplus, you want to be aiming to put on quality muscle opposed to quantity muscle, so like body fat. In order to gain quality muscle, we're going to go 300 calories above. As for sleep, we want to make sure that you're going through your REM sleep cycle, which is where the most amount of growth happens. In order to do that, it's really important that we're going to bed at a set time every night and a set time in the morning. There's a reason your mum kept your ass to bed when you were a kid. She actually had really good intentions. From there, we're going to aim from anywhere from 7 to 8 hours. Studies actually show people who sleep outside of, I believe it was 6.5 to 9 hours. So you sleep above 9 hours, or you sleep below 6.5 hours. Those people there who sleep outside of those hours actually have a 13% more chance of death. Right, I'm not saying you're going to die, but like 13% increase. That's not like 1, 2 accidental. That's not 5, 6. Like, oh yeah, that's like 13%. That's like if you're in a room with 10 people, like over of those 1 people that's not doing the sleep is going out the window. Yeah, sorry, that's pretty intense. But you guys get the point. Sleep's so important, surplus so important. Train hard, focus on control, and you guys will grow. If you like this video and you got this far, guys, I appreciate you an absolute ton. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Peace.